Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the McGonagall Boxing Podcast. So I just wanted to touch base quickly on the Tommy Fury, Darren Till fiasco. It kicked off, didn't it, in the press conference 2 weeks ago, this Misfits promotion. Obviously it was tated for, I believe, Manchester next month, which is a difficult time anyway, January. For a lot of fighters, obviously after Christmas, post-Christmas, so there's always a lot of pull-outs. I remember David Haye pulling out, I remember Chisora pulling out, I remember even the Joshua fights sometimes pulling out, so Dylan White, so it's notorious for fights pulling out, but obviously the excuse, the reason Tommy Fury said is because he's worried that Darren Till is going to kick him in the head during the fight, which Darren Till did cite in the press conference, to be fair. If Tommy Fury was getting on the upper hand, he would resort to head kick. So I get, listen, that's no joke. You can seriously hurt someone, especially a non-MMA fighter or non-Muay Thai fighter who can't defend that. You can hospitalise someone. So I get it, but ultimately Darren Till says a lot of crazy things, doesn't he? He does a lot of crazy things. And let's be honest, he's not the fighter he was anymore. So he's going to resort to big talk, smack talk, a bit like Tyson does, or used to do when his fighting skills were declining. And notice when Till was at his peak of his game, he wasn't exactly Mr. Humble, but he was far more reserved. Same with Tyson back in the day. He let the boxing do his talking. Then as he lost his skills, the mouth ran. And that's Darren Till now. I mean, he's a washed-up MMA fighter, so he's going to talk. He needs this fight, needs the money, and so he's going to sell it as best he can. But would he? I believe him when he says he wouldn't do it. I mean, he's fought plenty of times, hasn't he, before in the boxing realm, and he's never thrown any kind of head kick. So you've got to believe him when he says that. But listen, it's a fiasco because obviously Tommy Fury's still saying he's fighting. Darren Till says he's still fighting. So I mean, it's going to come to a head. Maybe they can renegotiate and sort this out because at the moment it's a bit of a shit show, as they say. But I mean, ultimately, listen, Tommy Fury is favourite to win that fight. If MMA fight, I don't think it'd go more than a second. But boxing fight, it's a different world altogether. But I mean, he's fought he fought the martial artist Muti, didn't he, back in July, and it was a bit of a controversy there, a back of the head punch. But Will Till got the award for that. But it's a bit of a crap fight, wasn't it? And a bit of an embarrassing fight. So you expect Tommy Fury to really give Till a boxing masterclass in terms of boxing. Even though Tommy Fury's not exactly Tyson, is he? And he's been inactive for a year. But we'll see. Listen, I mean, it's a long way to go. I don't think it's going to happen now. I think Darren Till is livid. I think Tommy Fury's got too much pride and ego. But, maybe they both fight now on somewhere else in terms of, they have a tune-up fight and they get back together maybe in April, May for a summer showdown, which will probably be bigger, to be fair. If Tommy Fury fights a lesser opponent, Till fights a lesser opponent, they both get the win, then also they'll probably come together at the end of the night, which will be chaos, and then I expect them to probably fight again in the summer. But Till was saying Tommy looked overweight, undertrained, underprepared, and he reckons that's the reason why he's pulled out more than anything, especially with Christmas coming. He says Fury didn't want to put the work in to lose the weight over Christmas, so he's come up with this cock and bull story. I kind of believe that, actually. Till looked like he was focused and ready. So you have to question Fury's personal life at the moment. He's going through a lot, isn't he, with his on-off wife. He's constantly getting sponsorship deals. The hunger's just not there, is it? Let's be honest. So he's probably pulled out to enjoy Christmas, and then he'll probably go again with Till in the summer when he has to really train. Meanwhile, I expect him to probably fight in January still, but a lesser fight, and he can probably put his foot off the gas a little bit in terms of training and still win. But it's, this Misfitsboxing, some people love it, some people hate it. It gets eyes on sport, doesn't it? But it's a bit of a shit show in terms of quality, and this fiasco and his pre-fight conferences and his on non-stop mind games. It's not great, it's not ideal. And I'm kind of in the cold front camp in terms of that. But I mean, listen, I want to see the fight now. I'm sure you all do, and I expect Tommy to probably box Till's head off for a unanimous points decision. Till's tough, so he can take a punch, and I don't think Tommy Fury punches hard enough to knock Till out, but I think he'll wobble him, buzz him, and I think ultimately he'll win a points decision when they do fight. But for now, it's a fiasco. For now, it's going to be very eventful. I expect them both to still fight on the card and fireworks to happen, especially the press conferences now. But expect a summer showdown now, and it's going to be bigger and better, I think. Well, not better, but bigger. And but fun and games in the Misfits. You got to feel sorry, well, not too sorry for the Salem brothers trying to organise this all with these sort of real performance clowns, aren't they, really? But fiasco again. John Fury's been quite about this surprise. But obviously Tommy's been out and said, listen, I'm not fighting him until he apologises. So it is what it is. A shame because it's been entertaining, but expected to be reaffirmed in the summer, and I expect Tommy to finally beat Till on points when it does happen. All right, guys, I'll catch you up on the next one.